gives. Today I claim the gifts forgiveness gives. I will not wait another day to find the treasures that my Father offers me. Illusions all are vain. Illusions are all vain. And dreams are gone even while they are woven out of thoughts that rest on false perceptions. Let me not accept such meager gifts again today. God's voice is offering the peace of God. The peace of God to all who hear and choose to follow Him. This is my choice today. This is my choice today. And so I go to find the treasures God has given me. And today I claim the gifts forgiveness gives. Today I claim the gifts forgiveness gives. I seek but the eternal. I seek but the eternal. For your Son can be content with nothing less than this. What then can be His solace but what you are offering to His mind? To His bewildered mind and frightened heart. To His bewildered mind and frightened heart. To give Him certainty and bring Him peace. Today I would behold my brother sinless. This your will for me, for so will I behold my sinlessness. Today I claim the gifts forgiveness gives. Today I claim the gifts forgiveness gives. Today I claim the gifts forgiveness gives. Well, thank you all so much for joining me. I think this is one of our colder days this year. It's not real cold, but cold enough. I got a couple hot rocks to put in my lap to keep my hands warm so I can play the guitar if I need to. I leave a rock or two on the stove just so that I've got a way to warm up my hands. Well, I'm Forgiveness Willie, teaching forgiveness from my front yard in front of some bamboo here in the Ozarks. I'm teacher of Forgiveness Willie, teacher of the Ozarks, or teacher of the Ozarks, teacher of forgiveness in the Ozarks, I guess I should say. Anyway, it's lesson 334 for Sunday, November the 30th of 2025, and I do these lessons about 3 days earlier. So it's actually Thanksgiving for me, but it'll be the 30th when you'll get this lesson. And so thank you for joining me on my supposed birthday, according to my parents. But I always told my kids I never was born and I won't ever die. I'm not a body, I'm free, for I'm still as God created me. Anyway, thank you all so much for joining me. Today I claim the gifts forgiveness gives. I will not wait another day to find the treasures that my Father offers me. Illusions are all vain and dreams are gone, even while they are woven out of thoughts that rest on false perceptions. Let me not accept such meager gifts again today. God's voice is offering the peace of God to all who hear and choose to follow Him. Catch that. God's voice is offering the peace of God to all who hear and choose to follow Him. This is my choice today. Is it your choice? This is my choice today, to follow God and have peace. And so I go to find the treasures God has given me just by practicing forgiveness. I seek but the eternal, for your Son can be content with nothing less than this. What then can be His solace but what you are offering to his bewildered mind and frightened heart, to give him certainty and bring him peace. Today I would behold my brother sinless. This your will from me, for so will I behold my sinlessness. Wow, practice forgiveness to the point where you can see your brother's sinlessness, see your brother sinless, and then you'll see your own sinlessness. You'll see that you are sinless. What is the ego? Back page or two. Number 12. The ego is idolatry, the sign of limited and separated self, born in a body, doomed to suffer and to end its life in death. It is the will that sees the will of God as enemy and takes a form in which it is denied. The ego is the proof that strength is weak and love is fearful, life is really death, and what opposes God alone is true. The ego is insane. In fear it stands beyond the everywhere, apart from all. In separation from the infinite. In its insanity it thinks it has become a victor over God himself. And in its terrible autonomy it sees, and the word sees is in quotes because it's not really seeing anything, and in its terrible autonomy it sees the will of God has been destroyed. It dreams of punishment and trembles at the figures in its dreams, its enemies, who seek to murder it before it can ensure its safety by attacking them. The Son of God is ego-less. What can he know of madness and the death of God when he abides in him? What can he know of sorrow and of suffering when he lives in eternal joy? What can he know of fear and punishment, of sin and guilt, of hatred and attack, when all there is surrounding him is everlasting peace, forever conflict-free and undisturbed, in deepest silence and tranquility? To know reality is not to see the ego and its thoughts, its works, its acts, its laws, and its beliefs, its dreams, its hopes, its plans for its salvation, and the cost belief in it entails. In suffering, the price for faith in it is so immense that crucifixion of the Son of God is offered daily at its darkened shrine, and blood must flow before the altar where its sickly followers prepare to die. Yet will one lily of forgiveness change the darkness into light, the altar to illusions, to the shrine of life itself. And peace will be restored forever to the holy minds which God created as his Son. His dwelling place, his joy, his love, completely his, and completely one with him. Okay, now let's go back. We're going to start a little pamphlet at the end of our. If you've got the complete edition, it looks like kind of like this, and if you can read it, I don't know, mine's kind of worn out. Anyway, if you've got the Foundation for Inner Peace version, which is what we're reading from, at the end you'll have Psychotherapy, Purpose, Process, and Practice. Let's read the introduction and section 1, the purpose of psychotherapy. But before we do, while you're turning there, if you're following along from the original edition, you won't have this, but you can go to jcim.net and read along if you'd like. And if you're reading from the, no, that's how you go to the original edition, jcim.net. To go to the Foundation for Inner Peace version, go to acim.org. Okay. Be sure to do your longer, quiet time where you sit in the silence and get filled up with God's goodness as you kind of let go of all your thoughts and just be at peace. Do that in the morning for as long as you like, and again in the evening, and then throughout the day, every hour of the day. Try for the top of the hour. Try to tell yourself, our lesson for the day. Today I claim the gifts forgiveness gives, and then claim them. Practice forgiveness. See everyone as holy as your dearly beloved brother and sister. Okay, introduction in psychotherapy, purpose, process, and practice. This paragraph I'm getting ready to read, which is the only paragraph in the introduction, to me is like, it's always been so inspiring when I read this. I hope to see if you feel the same. It like explains where all healing comes from and how to, and it doesn't, well, I was going to say, and how to get there, and you have, but let's just look at it and then see what we think. Does he tell you what healing is and how to get there? Let's just read it and see. Psychotherapy is the only form of therapy there is. Since only the mind can be sick, only the mind can be healed. All those erroneous, flawed belief systems we're holding are making us sick, making our mind sick. He says only the mind can be sick. Only the mind can be healed. Only the mind is in need of healing. This does not appear to be the case, for the manifestations of this world seem real indeed. Psychotherapy is necessary so that an individual can begin to question their reality. Sometimes he is able to start to open his mind without formal help, but even then it is always some change in his perception of interpersonal relationships that enables him to do so. We're all in this together, and we're going to have to get to heaven together. It's our relationships with each other that we think is our problem, but they're actually the opportunity to find yourself, by finding yourself in your brother, by practicing forgiveness and claiming what? The gifts forgiveness gives. Today I claim the gifts forgiveness gives. Sometimes he is able to start to open his mind without formal help, but even then it is always some change in his perception of interpersonal relationships that enables him to do so. Sometimes he needs a more structured, extended relationship with an official therapist. Word officials in quotes. Official could be your brothers and sisters, but I mean, it doesn't have to be. He's official, may be somebody with credentials. It may not be. It's still your official one for you. Either way, the task is the same. The patient must be helped to change his mind about the, in quotes, reality of illusions. Okay, you still think you're seeing that you're vulnerable and that someone is a threat. And we've got to see that there's another reality. Anyway, I love that paragraph. Okay, now let's look at the purpose of psychotherapy, number 1. Very simply, the purpose of psychotherapy is to remove the blocks to truth. Okay, there you go. Very simply, the purpose of psychotherapy is to remove the blocks to truth. Its aim is to aid the patient in abandoning his fixed delusional system and to begin to reconsider the spurious cause and effect relationships on which it rests. No one in this world escapes fear, but everyone can reconsider its cause and learn to evaluate them correctly. God has given everyone a teacher whose wisdom and help far exceed whatever contributions an earthly therapist can provide. Yet there are times and situations in which an earthly patient-therapist relationship becomes the means through which he offers his greater gifts to both. Paragraph 2. What better purpose could any relationship have than to invite the Holy Spirit to enter into it and give it his own great gift of rejoicing? What higher goal could there be for anyone than to learn to call upon God and hear his answer? And what more transcendent aim can there be than to recall the way, the truth, and the life, and to remember God? He's quoting there out of something that he said when he was here 2,000 years ago, when he said, I'm the way, the truth, and the life. No one comes to the Father but by me. Each of us can say that. It's important that each of us say that and realize that everyone we come to is Jesus is manifesting in them. The Christ right there in front of you. And you can't get to God without him. So practice forgiveness and get the gift of the remembrance of God. So again on that, what more transcendent aim can there be than to recall the way, the truth, and the life, and to remember God? To help in this is the proper purpose of psychotherapy. Could anything be holier? For psychotherapy, correctly understood, teaches forgiveness and helps the patient to recognize and accept it. And in his healing, Is the therapist forgiven with him? It's not just a one-way exchange. What you give, you get to receive. So the therapist gets to be the healed also, as well as the healer. Everyone who needs help, regardless of the form of his distress, is attacking himself. And his peace of mind is suffering in consequence. And the reason why that's true is because in our reality, in the kingdom of heaven, in our celestial order place, where we truly live, we don't have any problems, can't have any. It's heaven, it's reality. Everyone who needs help, regardless of the form of his distress, is attacking himself, and his peace of mind is suffering in consequence. These tendencies are often described as self-destructive, and the patient often regards them in that way himself. And that word self-destructive is in quotes because it's really not self-destructive. But you can imagine that it is, though. And it will appear to be that way to you. For the manifestations of this world are real indeed, he says, even though it's only the mind that's the cause of all sickness. Only the mind can be sick, therefore only the mind can be healed. Okay, let's see. Everyone who needs help, regardless of the form of his distress, is attacking himself, and his peace of mind is suffering in consequence. These tendencies are often described as self-destructive, and the patient often regards them in that way himself. What he does not realize and needs to learn is that this, in quotes, self, which can attack and be attacked as well, is a concept he made up. And the freedom in that is that if you made up the concept that you can attack and be attacked, then you can make up a new concept that's in alignment with your reality, which you are not a body, you are free, for you're still as God created you, invulnerable, created in love, extending love. What he does not realize and needs to learn is that this self, which can attack and be attacked as well, is a concept he made up. Further, he cherishes it, defends it, and is sometimes even willing to, in quotes, sacrifice his, in quotes, life on its behalf, for he regards it as himself. This self he sees as being acted on, reacting to external forces as they demand, and helpless amidst the power of the world. Paragraph 4. Psychotherapy, then, must restore to his awareness the ability to make his own decisions. He must become willing to reverse his thinking and to understand that what he thought projected its effects on him were made by his own projections on the world. The world he sees does therefore not exist. Until this is at least in part accepted, the patient cannot see himself as really capable of making decisions, and he will fight against his freedom because he thinks that it is slavery, the upside-down perspective. Okay, and the last paragraph to finish this section 1. The patient need not, paragraph 5. The patient need not think of truth as God in order to make progress in salvation, but he must begin to separate truth from illusion, recognizing that they are not the same, and becoming increasingly willing to see illusions as false and to accept the truth as true. What could be easier than to accept what is an illusion as false and to accept the truth as true? His teacher will take him on from there, the Holy Spirit. His teacher will take him on from there as far as he is ready to go. Psychotherapy can only save him time. The Holy Spirit uses time as he thinks best, and he is never wrong. That's nice to know, isn't it? The Holy Spirit uses time as he thinks best, and he is never wrong. Psychotherapy under his direction is one of the means he uses to save time and to prepare additional teachers for his work. There is no end to the help that he begins and he directs. By whatever routes he chooses, all psychotherapy leads to God in the end. Well, you start working with the mind, eventually it's going to end up at God. But that is up to Him. Okay, it's going to end up with God, but it's up to Him when. But that is up to Him. We are all His psychotherapists, for He would have us all be healed in Him. Remember, you have to give what you want to receive. So you have to be the psychotherapist that you want to come to you. And it will. In either a physical form or some manifestation, some brother or sister. Okay, let's see. Today I claim the gifts forgiveness gives. Let me get my book set up here so we're ready to close with our song here in just a few moments. But in the meantime, thanks again for being here. I like to stay on the thankful frequency, and I encourage you to do the same. Become a teacher of teachers. Learn to help everyone. Okay, what's going on around the world? It's St. Andrew's Day for some Christians, Advent Sunday for some Christians, Ascension of Abdu'l-Bahá, or Bahai, for Baha'is, Gita Jayanti, which is the birth of Bhagavad Gita, a Hindu celebration. And then out of holidays and observances, I found that it's a Cities for Life Day, Computer Security Day, Mason Jar Day, Meth Awareness Day, and I don't think that means to try out meth to see what it's like. I think just be aware that people get themselves caught up in some things. Evidently, it has a real strong pull for a lot of people, and they probably wish they'd never done it the first time. Anyway, Meth Awareness Day. My brother learned a lot in his life. Meth was one of the things that he got wrapped up in. He's crossed over now, Carl. But boy, it changed. He said the best thing that ever happened to me was to go to prison for trying. He said it changed my whole life. So anyway, he saw the good in everything. Moose Day. I think that's that dessert mousse. I guess it could be a regular mousse. Personal Space Day. Perpetual Youth Day. And that reminds me of Jesus saying, should we run these women off that want to bring the kids up here for you to bless them, Jesus? He said, no, don't run them off. Matter of fact, welcome them in and become like them. And for unless you become like a little child, you won't be able to enter the kingdom of heaven. We got to be that open-minded, innocent, open-minded and innocence, playful. Pick up some qualities. Watch children, play with kids, and learn to be like them. Okay, Small Brewery Sunday and Stay Home Because You're Well Day. A day to tune in with God. A day to tune in with yourself, maybe. Detroit Dark Red Beet is another plant that could be grown for greens. We're going to talk about several beets here in the next few days. This first one will be the Detroit Dark Red. It's a Beta vulgaris, and we're reading from the Seed Savers Exchange, and it says, Detroit Dark Red, great for canning and fresh eating. This variety is a good keeper, producing round, blood red, 3-inch diameter roots. This historic variety was introduced in 1892 by D.M. Ferry and Company. Original selections were made from the early blood turnip, the early blood turnip beet by Mr. Reeves of Port Hope, Ontario, Canada. It's 60 to 65 days, and for you guys that want to farm it, there's 1,700 seeds to the ounce. And our word for peace today, we're going to take it from the Malayalam people of India, in the southwest state of Kerala. Is it Kerala or Kerala? And they're on the rivers Periyar, what is that river? The Bharathapuza, the Pamba, rivers. Anyway, the word for peace is Samaadhaanam. Samaadhaanam. I'm going to go with that. I'm not sure I'm pronouncing it right. Samaadhaanam. Samaadhaanam. Let's go with that and see how close we got it. One of you people that speak the Malayalam language, please let me know if I've got it right. Okay, well, thank you again for joining me. I tell you that often because I am so blessed. Today I claim the gifts forgiveness gives. Today I claim the gifts forgiveness gives. I will not wait another day to find the treasures that my Father offers me. Illusions all are vain and dreams are gone. Illusions are all vain and dreams are gone. Even while they are woven out of thoughts that rest on false perceptions, let me not accept such meager gifts again today. God's voice is offering the peace of God to all who hear and choose. To all who hear and choose to follow Him. This is my choice today to follow Him. This is my choice today. This is my choice today. And so I go to find the treasures God has given me. Today I claim the gifts forgiveness gives. Today I claim the gifts forgiveness gives. I seek but the eternal. I seek but the eternal. For your Son can be content with nothing less than this. What then can be his solace but what you are offering to his bewildered mind? To his bewildered mind and frightened heart. To give him certainty and bring him peace, and to bring him peace. Today I would behold my brother sinless. Today I would behold my brother sinless. This your will for me, for so will I behold my sinlessness. This your will for me, for so will I behold my sinlessness. Today I claim the gifts forgiveness gives. Today I claim the gifts forgiveness give. Today I claim the gifts forgiveness gives. Well, thank you. Today I claim the gifts forgiveness gives. I guess I'm thankful just because it's Thanksgiving for me. 3 days past it for you. But thanks again for joining me. Today I claim the gifts forgiveness gives. And from our Malayalam people of India, Samaadhaanam. Samaadhaanam. Today I claim the gifts forgiveness gives. Samaadhaanam.